Hi, good evening, everybody, and I wish you a very warm welcome. Thank you for joining us for the webinar on the Cambridge Professional Qualifications. I am Ms. Nishita Esrani, and I'm one of the mentors on this course as well. And today is my pleasure to take you through this webinar and to take you through what this entails. So let's get started. And of course, we will first begin with just a few slides on introducing you to UP educators, and then we will deep dive into what is this course, how is this going to equip you, what are going to be the course content, and what are the expectations. And of course, you'll be all very keen to be knowing the fee structures and all the other details. So yes, let's get started. And I wish you all a very warm welcome. I'm very, very happy to take all your questions at the end. So kindly allow me to finish. And then if you have any queries, any questions, we can unmute yourself and you can also add in the chat window. So let's get started welcome for the webinar. So yes, we will start first with sharing what are the academic partners that we have. So when you associate with UP educators, apart from doing the Cambridge course, we would also like to reassure you that we have very credible names like Google for Education as a partner for us. Microsoft Certiport is an exam partner with us. Of course, we are partners with Cambridge and for which this webinar is. On an international front, STEM.org and AT are our international partners. And from the Government of India point of view, we award the MEPSC Skill India certificate for our nursery teachers training course. So that's a little bit about UP educators. Now I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what are we out here to do. So we are India's leading institute, and what we offer here are the instructor-led training courses, right? And what we are out here to do is actually to equip educators like yourself with the best practices using 21st century pedagogy, using AI tools, because today's teacher cannot teach without AI tools, without innovative teaching practice and technology. And what will, as a result, happen with you doing the course with us, whether it's the Cambridge course or any other course, you will be enhancing the learning experiences and outcomes. And the good news is that this course is also going to offer you the dual, or rather the try advantage. And I'll take you through that as we go along into, the next slide that we go. Okay, so that's a little bit about that. Until now, we've had the good fortune of training 25,000 plus educators who are from 9,000 schools and colleges across India and across the world, and of course, across boards as well. So today I'm also going to be talking to you as we get into the Cambridge, content about how this is going to support you. And of course, teachers from 25 countries. So you can see that this course has been imparted to teachers from CBSE, from State Board, from Cambridge Board, to the teachers from IB Board, and all of that. So this is going to definitely support you with that, right? Also on the front of social media, we have the largest teacher community with 4 lakh plus followers. So I would also recommend to you that you could also join, be a part of our community, and please join our social media platforms, right? One of the very distinct advantages that you will get while you do the course with us is that apart from the mentors like myself, and I'll introduce all the others to you, we will also invite expert voices in education for master classes. So you can see that the panel that's showing up here, these are all national teacher awardees. And we also invite them to impart master classes, and we will be sending you invites for these. So you will really get to upskill yourself and be part of a larger community. Okay. Also, teachers who have done this course with us, the courses from UP educators have won the National Teaching Awards. And that's a testament to innovative teaching pedagogy, but also using AI tools and tech tools, which like I mentioned, is really so important, right? One of the ways that, credible ways, I would say, that all of us make sense of the fact that how is a course, how is a particular organization, is Google rating. And, UP Educators has an excellent track record with a 4.9 out of 5. And we have been rated by 3,000 plus educators. Now, when we talk about, best practices, one of the platforms that we offer is the Teachers Olympiad. Okay. And until now, we've had about 25,000 teachers who have participated in subject-wise Olympiads, right? And this is of course separate from the Cambridge course, but we also send out invites to the teachers, to all of you, once you're part of our network. And at the end of this workshop, I will be sharing a link with you, URL, where a link where you will be getting a participation certificate for this. And of course, if once we have you on our database, we will also send out these invites, right? So there is, of course, a schedule for this, and we have them like subject wise, right? Or category wise. I would use the word category. So the Olympiads are held for the primary teachers, English teachers as a separate category, science, there's a separate category, pre-primary, math and digital, right? So this is what the certificate looks like. And of course, it's stamped and it's a valid legit certificate. Not only is it legit, but also this is covered by social media. We've had Hindustan Time, we've had Z News covering these events. So you can well imagine that this is a very prestigious platform, which I would encourage all of you as teachers and as best practices to participate. Okay. Another superb endeavor by up educators, and I know that all of you may be using a lot of AI platforms, but up educators has actually created India's first AI platform for educators. And when you sign up for this course, we will also be offering you, or rather, it's a free access for 1 year. And what happens is that in this you will be having relevant categories, and this will empower you to teach smarter using AI, because today's teachers have a lot of demand time, and there's a lot of expectations from parents, from teachers, from colleagues, from the students, and of course the management. So this will really help you to become a smarter AI smart teacher, and that's a really good advantage that you will be having. Okay, so that's a little bit about that. Now, as I mentioned to you, that along with the Cambridge certificate or diploma for which you are attending the webinar, we also equip our teachers with the technology certificates that come from Google and Microsoft. And until now, we have equipped 2,000 plus, and I'm sure the number is bigger than that, to become Google and Microsoft certified educators. Okay, so these are some of their testimonies, right? So yeah, that was just a little bit brief about up educators. So now let's dive into the structure of the Cambridge certificate and diploma in teaching and learning. And once again, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Nishita Israni, and I am a mentor on the Cambridge certificate and diploma course. And I also teach on a variety of other courses at Up Educators, namely nursery teachers training and the innovative teaching practice. So yeah, let's dive in and let's understand about the Cambridge certificate and the Cambridge diploma in teaching and learning. Okay, so one of the first questions that you would probably, want to understand or have an understanding is that who is this program really for? Is it only for Cambridge teachers, or is it only for senior school or junior school? That question would be running in your mind. Okay, so basically, this course is very, very beneficial or open for, or your criteria, eligibility criteria would be that you need to be an experienced teacher, right? You could be a teacher from any board, CBSE, ICSE, state board. You could also be an international school educator, right? If you're a school leader and academic coordinator who wants to have a more reflective lens on curriculum and curriculum design, this is a very good course for you. If you're a new educator with classroom access, because today's day and age, we have teachers who are teaching online, so they do have student cohorts, and that's important. If you're a curriculum designer and an academic head, also this course would be, you would be not only eligible, but this will be extremely beneficial for you. If you're an aspiring teacher trainee, the Cambridge content and all that we teach, which is all research based, will also help aspiring teacher trainers. And in case you are planning to teach abroad, because there's such a big network of Cambridge and international schools, and they are looking for teachers who are qualified, equipped, and have certification, right? So this will benefit all these people, or these are all the eligible criteria that we have. Okay. So now let's look at some, when we talk about teachers, we talk about schools, we talk about all of that. Let's look at some very powerful headlines, okay, about the explosive growth, or rather exponential growth of international schools, right? And the fact that nowadays parents are spending, really, they're putting all their effort, time, and money into future proofing children's education. So, parents, and India, as we know, have 1.4 billion people, right? So, India is now the second largest host of international schools, because there's a demand for schools. There's parents who want their children should be studying in the best institution. It should be a future proof. The teachers should be completely equipped. They should be offering the most research based learning and teaching methodologies, right? So, what does that mean? When there are so many schools, when the parents are looking for the best education, it also means that because there are 140 international schools that have opened in every year in India, this is not something I am saying. This is from we have picked this data or this research from the Economic Times, right? What it also means is that because this is happening in India, right? International schools, parents are very, very keenly looking at not only the school and the infrastructure, but at the teachers. They're looking at all of you. They're looking at the heads, they're looking at the coordinators, they're looking at all of that, right? And see, okay, the school's great, the facilities are great. How about the teachers? Are they equipped? That becomes such a very important factor, right? And that teachers have to now upskill themselves or make sure that they get degrees or diplomas or certificates that are recognized internationally. Okay, we need to be doing that, right? And also another very important, important fact is that now there are over 10,000 Cambridge schools which are operating in more than 160 countries. So can you imagine, all of you teachers and all of you, thank you for joining us. What a great opportunity waits you. On one side, you have India having so many international schools. We have parents who want equipped teachers and qualified teachers. And then we have such a big network of Cambridge schools, which is operating in 160. So the opportunity for you to teach not only in India, but abroad in an online platform with a Cambridge, kind of school or curriculum, there is a big opportunity for you, right? So obviously, what does this mean for teachers? What does all these things that I'm basically, we're connecting the dots, right? We looked at how many schools are there in India, how many schools are there in the world, how much parents are spending, what is the future proofing that they need. What it means for teachers is that there are huge opportunities once you qualify yourself, you upskill yourself in international schools, right? So even if you, doesn't matter if you're teaching, even CBSE schools are international schools these days. Even the ICSE schools are international. It's about the kind of crowd that you attract, or the location that you are at, right? So these opportunities are waiting for you. Okay. Also, another thing is when you're working in a school of a particular caliber, let's call it an international school. It could be I know that there are schools which are CBSE international schools, right? ICSE schools also are technically international in the way that their network or their setups are, or there could be an CBSE school even in Middle East, or ICSE school. So nothing stops the curriculum from being there, right? So when you work in a school like that, definitely you will also have better salaries, competitive salaries compared to local institutions. And actually, again, we are taking a fact from Times of India, where there was an article that says that salaries in international schools can be almost 20 to 100% higher, depending, of course, if you're in a tier one city or a tier two city, and of course, your qualification, right? So, upskilling yourself, getting this Cambridge certificate and diploma really will open up these opportunities for you, better salary for you. Okay. Another thing about international schools, or schools which have an international mindset, okay, is that because there is, a kind of very focused approach, there is a structured schedule and reasonable working hours, because wellness is a very important thing, not only for the students, but also for the teachers, right? Also, in internationally minded schools, you have smaller class sizes, so you can have more personalized teaching, right? If schools are charging so much, the parents also want personalized attention for the learners, right? And also schools which have an international mindset or international schools, there's a lot of support from curriculum, designers, teacher assistants, coordinators. You could even have a curriculum, or what we call as a curriculum coordinator. So there's a lot more support that you get. And like I mentioned, that because they have a schedule, they have a calendar, you get breaks, you get, the vacation time. Schools have good wellness policies. They have a lot of professional development support, right? So once you equip yourself, you really have the opportunities to be a part of an international school, but you also have an opportunity to move abroad as a teacher, right? And we all know that once you get a qualification and you update your LinkedIn or whichever job portal you're part of, the AI itself will pick up your profile for jobs, right? And these Cambridge qualifications that you're here for the webinar for, they will open doors to you in all over the world, but especially since there are a huge number of Cambridge schools in UAE, Singapore, UK, Malaysia, Australia, and more, right? And these schools, they prioritize Cambridge trained teachers. Okay, they do believe that this is a very authentic degree. The teachers do learn. There is a big upskilling that happens, right? And also when recruiters are looking and you have this qualification, you have updated your resume, you will be recognized by recruiters and job platforms. Okay, now another thing that's happened since the COVID years is that now as teachers, once you have qualified yourself, once you have upskilled yourself not only with Cambridge diploma, or but you also got some tech tools that you've learned and AI, which is also part of what you will do at Up Educators. You also have the opportunities to become an online tutor for international students, right? So just a quick trivia fact, which I'm sure all of you will be very happy to learn or know about, is that there are over 2 million IGCSE students worldwide. Okay, so that means this is a great opportunity, or I would even call it a golden opportunity for you to deliver online sessions internationally, right? So you can see that there are so many folds of advantages once you do this course, and you can really jumpstart your professional career and your own understanding. Okay, another very heartening thing, or I feel very happy to say that, is that when teachers are from India, or especially when they're Cambridge certified teachers, everybody really looks up and respects them. The reason being why? Because it is known, proven that Indian Cambridge certified teachers have exceptional language skills. Because for most of us, English is the first language, right? We can speak Hindi or Bengali or Marathi in our house, but when you go to school or college or work, generally for most of us, English is the first language, right? Also, teachers from the Asian countries tend to be more cost effective. And undoubtedly, we all believe in constantly upgrading ourselves, and we are all qualified. So we are strong subject experts. Okay. So what I'm trying to say to you is that, for you to become an internationally qualified teacher, you would obviously, you may not know what to do, right? So what you need to do to become an internationally qualified teacher is you have to gain the insights as to what are the roles. Of course, you will understand that, right? But very important, and the step that you are taking today as you have come for the webinar, is to enroll in the relevant certification program and professional development courses, right? But for schools, just okay, you've identified the school, you've done the diploma or the certificate, but you also need to build and showcase a strong teaching portfolio. And as part of the Cambridge certificate and diploma, that's exactly what you do. You have a portfolio which we will help you build. Of course, it's all your hard work, but then it is submitted and you can showcase that to your prospective employers, right? You can do that. And of course, once you're looking for an international qualified teacher's job, you have to explore the job portals, global portals, and what are the opportunities. So that's, of course, self-driven, but we are also very happy to help you with that. Okay, so let's now talk about, we've talked about why you need to do the course, how it's going to help you. Let's talk about this qualification. It's called the Cambridge International qualifications. Okay, so all of you are all here. Thank you all once again from Up Educators for joining us. Let's talk about what is this course. Okay, so the Cambridge certification in teaching and learning, and we have like two levels. One is a certificate, one is a diploma, and I'll take you through each part. This is a very prestigious but also a globally recognized program. Okay, so there are Cambridge schools all over the world, and the numbers in India are really rapidly increasing. Okay, this course will also strengthen your professional skills. It will empower you to transform classroom practices because this course, it's a very practical course. Whatever you learn in our sessions or in a class, you have to apply it immediately and then come back, and there will be a particular assignment, or there could be a task or a collaboration where you will discuss it. So you instantly get to apply it. Okay. This course is also built on research backed principles and real world applications. So if you are if you are well equipped and you've understood a concept, the biggest advantage will be to your students who will see that, Miss Nishita, that's me, has come, learning active learning strategies, or she's, teaching us how to be metacognitive or reflective, because I've learned that in my class. So I'm just going to go back and apply that, right? And as I mentioned, that this brings in the best practices. So active learning, reflective teaching, continuous improvement, right? You will be doing all that. And of course, as a result of all the new strategies or research-based strategies, you will help create dynamic, student-centered environment. So that's a very, very satisfying thing for you as a teacher. And as an organization, you will be much, much, much appreciated. Okay, so let's talk about the meat of the matter here, which is the Cambridge Professional Development Qualifications, or as they are called in the short form, the PDQs. Okay, so that's exactly what it is. It's the Professional Development Qualification. Okay, so now we're getting into the true blue Cambridge part of it. Okay, so you can see this image. This is a Cambridge, basically, it's almost like their logo, where they talk about how they are when you're imparting anything which is related to Cambridge. There is a profile. Not only is a student profile, we want our student to be 21st century, use tech tools. They also have a profile for the teachers, right? Which is what we are building through the course, right? So let me talk to you about each of these attributes that's how it's going to support you. Okay. So when you do this course, this will bring a lot of new facets to you. I'm sure you are a very responsible teacher, very confident, very reflective, very innovative. But from the Cambridge perspective, what are the things that this will equip you with, right? This will support you to be responsible, right? Because of the kind of, assignments that are there, because of the work that you have to produce, you will be you will be a much more of an ethical approach, because whenever you are citing anything, when we talk about any theory, you will learn how to give it, reference it, right? You'll also learn to be responsible and have a very strong focus towards the learners, right? Because all the pedagogies, all the content will focus towards that, right? Because of all the new strategies that you will learn, you will gain a lot of confidence to plan your instructions, that means your lesson plans, your assessments, your planning, your curriculum designing in a very, very methodical and a very detailed manner. So this gives you confidence, right? Reflection, very, very, very important part of Cambridge. And you will hear this word like a zillion times. And I literally mean it, right? That this will also help you to become a very reflective teacher. That means not only are you thinking about how did the class go, what could I have done better, what will I apply next time, what went well, what could have been done better, have I applied these strategies, if I did, how do the students react, right? And the best part about, not finding fault, but finding the critical aspect is that in the next lesson, you have to apply it. That is called action research. When you find a topic that you need to improve and you apply it. And then say, what, this time, because I use a lot of active learning strategies, my learners were so excited. They got so much more to the class. That is action research, right? And of course, innovation. This course will equip you to be very innovative That means you will learn to use technology in a very integrated manner. You will get very creative about using AI tools, technology, the best research practices. And finally, what's going to happen as a result of that? Engagement. Not only in your classroom between the students, but also you will get the advantage of being part of a cohort, group of teachers. Like we've had so many, groups, and there are big numbers, and you get to collaborate with them. You get to learn from them. So professional growth. So you can see that this course will equip you not only for the classroom, but also as part of the teacher community. Okay, so let's look at what are the benefits of this qualification. Okay, because it is an internationally recognized system or qualification, it's going to help you with learning innovative teaching practices. It will definitely increase or upskill you or zoom you for career growth opportunities. It'll also give you a very keen perspective of what are the high academic standards, right? And because this Cambridge course, the certificate diploma, is a very flexible course, as in you learn best practices. You can apply it if you're a CBSE teacher. You can apply it if you're an ICSE teacher. You can apply it if you're a state board teacher. You can apply it if you're an IB teacher. You can also apply it if you're just running a tuition center or an online training, right? And also this course, because of the kind of resources, the kind of conversations, the research, you will be learning what teachers across the world do. What are the best practices, global teaching perspective. This will give you that perspective. Okay. So obviously, at this point, I'd like to know from all of you, and I've just about enabled the chat. If you could just share in the chat window, which board are you teaching in? So I see that we have a lot of us here. If you could just share in the chat window, it will help me to sort of, know my learner group. And I can then tell you what are the benefits of this qualification for you if you're a CBSE teacher or ICSE teacher or state board teacher. Okay. So could you please share in the chat window, which is the board that you are teaching in? And I have enabled the chat window for you to give your responses. Ms. Sarika, I'll definitely respond to your very good question at the end of it, right? But in the meanwhile, if you can, I can just request everybody, if you could please share what board. Thanks. I can see CBSE, ICSE, CBSE, IGCSE, ICSE, CBSE, CBSE, CBSE. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. So I can see that we have a very good mix and we have a lot of CBSE teachers. So you're all wondering, like, is it worthwhile for me to do this course or not? So let's get into it. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing your inputs. I really appreciate your responses, right? So let's talk about it. If you do this course, this Cambridge qualification, how will it help you if you are any of these boards? Okay. So if you are a CBSE or an ICSE or a state board teacher, all the content that you have as part of this course, right? Thank you, everybody. Will help to bridge the gap between traditional and global pedagogies. Okay, so definitely all the boards that we are, discussing right now, they all are very progressive, right? And they all want you to use very, very good student-centered strategies. So this will also help you to strengthen your classroom strategies using active learning, using assessment for learning. Okay. And for teachers who are part of the CBSE and NEP, right? One of the requirements is that it focuses on activity-based and experiential learning as per the NEP requirement. Okay. This will also help you, this course, or equip you to design effective lessons that are aligned with the holistic education and subject competencies. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. So even if you are just a trainee and yet to teach, that's perfectly fine. It's just that you need to have a cohort of learners to apply the strategy. So we can definitely talk about that. But yeah, definitely you're in a good place. Also, in case you're a CBSE teacher and you wish to teach in an hybrid manner or an international, this will prepare you. And of course, in future, if you wish to move to an international school or leadership role, it's so good as an educator to know best practices from all the curriculums, right? All the curriculum, right? That's what it'll do, help you. Now, if you are a teacher from the Cambridge board, what would be the benefit for you? Let's talk about that, right? Obviously, for Cambridge teachers, it's aligned because it deepens your understanding of the Cambridge learner and teaching or teacher attributes, right? It'll also enhance and make you hyper focused about how to design assessments in line with curriculum goals, the Cambridge curriculum goals, right? And undoubtedly it will improve your effectiveness in lesson planning, in differentiation, and also in giving effective feedback. Okay. And in case you wish to move between Cambridge schools, it will definitely help you to get to the next rung of the ladder, which is facilitate promotion within Cambridge schools. Okay. Now, if you are an IB school teacher, PYP, MYP, PYP is primary years program, MIP is middle years program, right? IB is, of course, the international baccalaureate, right? How will this benefit you, right? So, in the IB curriculum or the international curriculum, they are very focused on learner-centered approaches, conceptual understanding, curriculum implementation. So, this will definitely deepen your understanding of the teaching methodologies. It will help you to focus on learner-centered approaches. It will support curriculum implementation, enhancement of assessment skills. This will promote professional reflection and collaboration, which is also a very, very important part of the IB network of schools. And of course, because of, like I mentioned to you, the AI and the tech tools, it will improve your ICT integration and undoubtedly career development or boost the career development. Okay, so that's a little bit about how this will benefit you. So whichever board you are, this is going to be a very, very useful course for you. And let's get into the next section, which is understanding the curriculum structure for this particular course. Okay, so let's see what is the curriculum structure. First of all, since the course is in it's a two-part course, right? We have three modules: module 1, module 2 and module 3. And when you are pursuing the certificate or when you enroll just for the certificate, then you need to do only one module, right? But when you are enrolled for the diploma, then you need to do all three modules: module 1, module 2, and module 3. Okay, so I'm going to take you step by step, so please don't feel overwhelmed. I'm go very slowly and gradually through this. Okay, yeah. So what's going to happen in when you're doing your certificate? What's the kind of time that you need to spend with us or on this course? Okay, so total of 150 hours is what you need to contribute or to get this certificate. We are only talking right now about the certificate. Okay, we're not talking about the diploma. So please, just to note that. Okay, this is certificate. So when we're talking about 150 hours, what we mean by 150 hours is that 50 hours of guided learning. That means you will be having planned or like calendared rather lectures, activities, any instruction from the program leader meeting with the candidates. That is the teaching time. Like how we're having an online session right now, we are meeting. It's going to be a scheduled, calendared, guided learning, right? So we'll be having these sessions. These sessions are for 2 hours each. Okay. So typically you would say about 25 classes, just, as a ballpark, right? Then the next 50 hours of the 150 hours, right? This will be the time which will be spent by the candidates in your classroom. So whatever you learn in the first 50 hours in our classroom, you will take that to your classroom and implement those ideas. Okay. And of course, through a discussion. Then 100 hours are done. Okay. What about the next 50 hours? Okay. The next 50 hours of this course is when you do your work independent, like you're reading some papers, you're doing your assignments, you're working in a group, right? After your guided learning, you are reading something or working on an assignment, right? So you can see that this course is not too overwhelming, okay? Because it's not like your 150 hours we are going to do classes with you. We have classes that you have to apply it, that we have to, we'll give you things to read, right? So this is how your 150 hours that you will earn the certificate, not the diploma, not even come to the diploma now, right? So let's see the difference between CICTL certificate and CIDTL, which is the diploma. Okay. So in the CICTL, which is a 4-month course, right? There are going to be some key learnings for you. Okay. You're going to understand the core principles of teaching and learning. So it's the theory part of it, right? Then you're going to improve your daily classroom practice using reflective teaching. So obviously you need to apply these skills. Then you need to develop skills in lesson planning and student engagement. We will help you build those skills. And this will help you once you're done with this, part of the course, which is for 4 months, and we have assignments, etc., which I'll share with you later. You finish your CICD. Okay, done. Now we move to the. So if you say you only want to do the CICD, then that's over for you. But if you're going to do the diploma, then please note it will be 8 months more, right? So total to complete the course to earn the diploma is 4 plus 8, which is equal to 12 months. Okay, so this is a 12-month course if you do the diploma. Okay, and the diploma is going to be for 8 months. Okay, so what are going to be the key topics or key learnings here? You will deepen your expertise in curriculum design. So there'll be a lot of focus on curriculum design and assessment, right? Whatever you are applying, you have to collaborate with your school and improve the learning outcomes, right? At this point, you will also be taking whatever you have learned or you are proposing as an action research into to actually improve teaching and learning practices, right? And this will also help you to be taking on mentorship or leadership roles. And this course will also help you or equip you to apply evidence-based strategies to raise student achievement. Okay, so that's really what it was about what it is, right? Now let's talk a little bit in detail about CICTL, right? So how many months was this? You would remember this was 4 months, okay? The first 4 months, sorry, I'm just going to go back and delete this. Yeah, erase it. Yeah, get another pen in here. Yeah. Okay. So remember, this is a 4-month course, the certificate. Okay. So in this, you have to complete one module. Okay. And in this module, what are going to be the topics? What are going to be the course content? You'll all be very curious to know, right? What they're going to be. So in module 1, you will understand the principles of learning and teaching and apply these principles to your own practice, right? So like I told you from the word go, when you learn something in the class, you have to go and apply it with your learners. And that's why when I had something in the chat window that said, ma'am, I'm a trainee and yet to teach. That's really good, but you need to quickly get your group of learners and start applying these strategies. Okay. You will also have the opportunity through your assignments to articulate your own personal theory of learning. What do you believe about learning? Right. Then you have to design coherent learning activities which will focus on active learning and teaching. That means how do you involve your learners? You have to plan activities, right? Then you will be learning or using approaches to teaching and learning appropriately to help learners. So remember, in Cambridge, and I'm sure everywhere in the world, best practices, teaching and learning are two sides of the same coin, right? Whenever you're teaching something, the students are learning. Even if you're telling them a story, they're listening to you, they're seeing your expression, they're understanding it. So there's no moment which is not teachable. Every moment is a learnable moment, every moment is a teachable moment. Okay, right? And this will also, in this course or the certificate, which is the first 4 months, you will develop your reflective practice skills and think about your own practice. And of course, you will learn to collaboratively, work by your colleagues. You will get a lot of opportunities. We will have a lot of group work. We will have a lot of breakout rooms. We will create you in groups. So you will also learn from each other, right? So the certificate is a time for you to consolidate the skills, to share best practices. Okay. Yeah. And let's see what are the units. So module 1 sounds like very simple and it is, but it is further divided into 3 units. Okay, so we are still talking about the certificate. Okay, we are still on the certificate. This is the 4 months, right? And this is in module 1. You have 3 subparts. There's unit 1, unit 2, and unit 3. Okay, and you can see that whatever I told you earlier, we have divided into 3 sequential parts. Okay, and as you, some of you may have noticed, or maybe all of you noticed, we are moving in an alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. What does that mean? That means that whatever you learn will be taught in a sequential manner. It's all interrelated, it's all connected, right? But it is divided into 3 main learning modules. Okay. Unit 1 is understanding the basic principles of learning and teaching, ABCD. Unit 2 is teaching an effective lesson, EFGH. And unit 3 is teaching effective lessons, planning them, teaching them, assessing learning, and evaluating. Okay. So you can see that it's very methodical, it's sequential. A leads to B, B leads to C. Everything is interconnected, right? And that's what the certificate, the 4 months that you will be doing with us. Okay. Now, in this part, which is still on, we are still on the certificate, still we are on the 4 months. Okay. What all are you, what is the evidence of practice? That means what are the assignments that you are supposed to showcase? That becomes your portfolio, right? So EOP, or evidence of practice, is nothing but your portfolio, your assignments. Okay. You all want to know what are your, portfolio. Okay. Yeah. So in your portfolio, right, in unit 1, you have to observe a educators, and Miss Aarti and myself have done these classes, right? And then you have to fill up your observation visit form. Okay, you need to be doing that. In unit 2, what is going to be the assignment, or EO, evidence of practice, or part of the assignment? That's not the full assignment. There's still an evidence reflection also, right? So in unit 2, you have to create a lesson plan. You have to, whatever you have learned in the sessions with us, you have to apply those strategies, active learning strategies. And you have to fill up an observer, somebody who's observing your class has to fill it up. So we will, don't worry, we will give you exemplars, samples for everything. So you do not have to worry, but all this is the body of work, or your portfolio, that you have to create. Okay. And again, in unit 3, you will be creating a lesson plan. That's why when you ask me the question, I'm a new teacher, whether you're a new teacher, old teacher, you need to have a group of students. Otherwise, you cannot do unit 2 and unit 3. I mean, how will you do it? You can, but who are you going to teach, right? And unit 3, again, you have a lesson plan. You have to create a lesson plan using differentiation. We'll have a person observing you, and you have to compile a teacher log. And we will be sharing everything in a methodical manner. There are exemplars. So please do not worry, do not be overwhelmed, do not stress. Okay. Yeah. So now let's understand the diploma. So all this conversation was about certificate. We are done. Now we're moving to the diploma, right? So let's move to that. Okay. So like I mentioned to you, that to complete the diploma, you have to now do module 2 and module 3. You've finished module 1, 4 months are over. Okay. Now we have come to diploma, right? So let's be very clear. We have moved to the diploma section, or the curriculum content of the diploma. Okay. So what's going to happen in diploma? You have to do module 2 and module 3. Okay. And let's see what are the main learnings in module 2. You will be applying theories and strategies in real teaching situations. That means you will be fully applying all the strategies you learned in module 1. Okay. You'll be planning and delivering effective lessons with clear learning objectives. You will be using observation, feedback, and reflection to improve your teaching. Somebody will observe you. Somebody will give you feedback. It could be me, it could be somebody from your school. And then you will evaluate the impact on your learners. Okay. And in module 3, what will you do? You will develop your professional practice. Okay. Let's get these points out. Yeah. So you will deepen your understanding of professional teaching practices. There is a lot of topics and part to it. You will investigate an area. And this is when we talk about action research. Remember, we talked about it? Action. This is action research. That means you are going to take an action on your teaching and having evidence of it. So it's almost like doing a small mini PhD, right? And then you will implement the changes based on findings from classroom research. And this will develop you as a reflective and research informed practitioner. Okay. And I would just like to reassure you that whether you're teaching class kindergarten or class 5 or class 7 or class 12, there is always something that we can all improve about our teaching with the students. So please don't worry that this is only for older teachers or young. It's for everybody. If you teach even 5 students online, there is so much more you can improve about your practice. And you have to reflect on that. That is why module 3 is called the action research part. Okay. Yeah. All right, so let's just go into a little more detail. Like I said, this is diploma. We are on diploma. We have finished certificate. Diploma is for 8 months, right? It will take you another 8 months to complete these two modules, module 2 and module 3. So, and once again, you can see the alphabetical order is back. We did A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, I, right? J, K, L. Till L, we finished certificate. Now in diploma, what's the alphabet that we've reached? M, right? MNOPQRSTUVWX. Okay, so that means now you will be learning the next round, next. These are your basically your key questions, right? Your learning objectives. We all teachers love LOs, learning objectives. So these are going to be your LOs, learning objectives, things that you're going to learn. In module 2, you'll be learning these subparts: coherent scheme of learning, structured lessons, inclusive lessons, effectively managed lessons, formative assessment, right? And then in module 3, which is all about action research, right? I mentioned to you action research, right? You will get on to STUVWX, right? Justify, carry out a practitioner's inquiry, plan and teach a lesson as part of the inquiry, critically analyze and evaluate concepts, critically analyze and evaluate practitioners' inquiry, feedback, and data, and critically analyze and evaluate the impact. So, can you see how this is becoming action research? I hope that's very clear for you that why do you need to do the whole course? If you really have to benefit it, I would say please enroll for the diploma. Go all the way. Otherwise, you've learned a few things. Of course, that's great learning, but diploma will make you a real, like I would say, a research based teacher. Okay, let's get ahead of that. Yeah. Now, again, you will want to know what are going to be the assignments that I have to be doing. What are going to be the portfolios that I have to do for diploma, right? So your evidence of practice, that means what are going to be your portfolio, what is going to be assignments, what's going to be the work. In module 2 and module 3, these are the assignments. These are the what we call EOP, evidence of practice, right? You have to create a scheme of learning form. Again, like I said, we will share exemplars of everything. You will have filled, you can see what's a good sample. So you wouldn't like suddenly have to do so much work without knowing it. We have a lot of sessions. You will be attending those sessions. You'll be mapped to mentors. You'll have a mentor who you can meet. We every fortnight we plan a meeting, right? So these are going to be all of them, right? I would you can see all of that. There's a lot more happening here. And in module 3 also it's a lesson plan. So it's a very what I would say it's a very good thing for a practicing teacher if you have a cohort online or because whatever you're learning, it's not extra work. You're just applying those strategies in your classroom. Yes, you have to attend the classes, you have to do your assignment, but in your school or your class or your institution, you just have to apply them. So it's part of your normal teaching. It's not extra work. It's just reflecting on it, like looking, keeping a record of it, making the entire, it's a professional course, right? So you have to look at your, that's why it's called evidence of practice. That's the word where it comes from. No, you don't have to go out and find some new children. Your class itself, you can apply these strategies on them. Okay. So each of these modules and the units in the CICTL, which was 4 months, and the CIDTL, which was 8 months, right? This was unit module 1, and this was module 2 and 3. Okay. These are what we call as learning journeys. Okay. And everything has a LO. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X. We were there, right? So this is what you are expected to learn or be able to do. Okay. So obviously there is a lot of reading documentation for you that we will be sharing with you. And you will have a kind of a list of these, what we call key questions. Okay. So every every module, every unit will have the list of these key questions, and they are like reflective questions, and this will guide you. Okay. So an example is, why do students learn better in groups, or what makes a lesson effective, right? So a lot of our discussions are, very practical, very interesting. It's rooted in what you do, right? So it's a very you will really enjoy it, you will really engage with it. And the key questions is basically what we call as learning objectives. Okay, so I'm just going to be sharing my screen with not my presentation, but give me a moment. I'm just going to take you to the, yeah, key questions, the Cambridge LOs, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, we went all the way, right? So yeah, I'm just going to quickly take you through that. So in unit one, this is going to be your key understanding and your LOs. I think you can see it on your screen. I can very much see that it's projecting up on your screen right now, right? Yeah. Learning outcome B, learning outcome C, learning outcome D. Unit 2 is learning outcome E, F, G, H, right? So we'll be sharing all these documents with you, and this also tells you what exactly you're supposed to be doing. What are your learning outcomes? So it's all a very methodical, very planned, very connected, and what we call, we keep spiraling, we keep going back and revisiting, right? So as a teacher or as a practitioner, you will not be like, what am I supposed to do? What are my LOs? What are the key questions? You will be very well aware of it. And all the documents are very, very transparently shared with you. And you will, of course, have access to the Cambridge portal that you have. Okay. So yeah, that was just a little bit. Let me get back to the presentation. So yeah. And of course, as I explained to you, you will have a portfolio, you will create a portfolio, which is going to be submitted on the Cambridge website. And that's how we will, so there is a whole process to that. And basically, what do you have to produce as evidence as part of your portfolio for Cambridge is your EOL, evidence of learning, which is basically the lesson plan you've created or a classroom example, and evidence of reflection. Okay. So when you applied a lesson, what worked, what didn't work, what are you going to improve, right? And we also have the Cambridge has an assessment criteria, okay? So which is like the checklist, your submission is marked. So you know exactly what they're looking for. So we will be sharing all these documents with you. So before you submit anything on the portal, you will go through all these lenses and of course the criteria. So you also are clear, like how you share a rubric with your students or a checklist. So you'll also have that for yourself. Okay. So you all would want to know, like, that's a lot of work we are doing, but how are these modules assessed? Who assesses them? Okay. So after you have compiled all unit one, unit two, unit three for certificate and also for diploma, you will be uploading this assessment or e-portfolio as we call it on the Cambridge website. Of course, we'll do it together, right? And this will be then looked at or will be assessed by the Cambridge International Examiners using the website where you have your access, your password to, and this submission has to be made on the Cambridge PDQ form provided by the Cambridge. So we will guide you through the process, and it's all very methodical, step by step and sequential. So that's how we go about it. Okay. Also, as best practices, we recommend that as teachers and who enroll for the course to maintain a reflective journey. If there was one keyword that I have for Cambridge PDQ courses or the professional courses, it's reflective, right? Reflection. So it's very good practice to maintain this, whichever classes you are attending, whichever papers you're reading, whichever discussions. If you capture, what were your thoughts, strategies, you can really start applying them. And it builds a habit of metacognition, which is thinking about what you're doing, thinking about your learning, thinking about your thinking. And I think it's really a great skill or a great power. I would call it a superpower. Reflection is a superpower, right? That you build. Okay. So yeah, that was about the course. Now let's talk about our program leader and the mentors. I'm one of the mentors, of course. So let me take you through that. This is Mrs. Manju Borkar. She is our program leader, and she's a very qualified professional with having been a former principal and director of national and international schools. Like I mentioned, she is the program leader for our CICTL and CIDTL certificate, 4 months, diploma 8 months, total 12 months. She is also a very tech savvy trainer. So she's a Google, Microsoft, Nearpod, um, leadership coach, soft skills, Bakelite, robotics. So yeah, lots of things. So you'll see her, you'll be meeting her, and you'll have the opportunity to interact with her. Okay. And now let's talk about who are the mentors on this program. That is your CICTL and CIDTL. Okay. This is Miss Mary Yusuf. She's a very experienced teacher. In fact, we've been colleagues at a school in Bangalore, international school. And she comes with 20 plus years of national and international experience working in schools in Europe, Africa, and India. And she's a very experienced professional development trainer with 150 workshops and having taught 4,000 plus teachers across curriculums. She was also the academic head at an organization called Life Educare, and she, of course, was a program leader and faculty for CIDTL in the school, the Teachers Training Institute where we were colleagues. And she was also the program leader and associate faculty for the Birmingham City University PGDE course at Itari in Bangalore. Actually, that's where we both were colleagues at. I'm Nishita. I just introduced myself. I've also been in experienced administrative roles, been a teacher, trainer, and mentor. I'm a Google certified educator and an experienced curriculum developer and programmer, right? And yeah, that's a little bit about me. This is Miss Arti. She's also our faculty, and she's also a very, very experienced mathematics facilitator. She was a former head of the math department, and she's skilled in curriculum development, innovative teaching, and student-centered learning. And she is also a very expert trainer for digital tools, including Google Suite, Canva, Edpuzzle, and she is, of course, a CICTL certified educator and major expert in tech integration, digital teaching, and a very experienced teacher trainer. So these are my colleagues. Um, and of course, you'll be learning the best practices of innovative teaching practice. And we'll also be, like I mentioned to you, inviting you to participate in the Olympiads. And of course, because of the kind of number of teachers who have taken part, we have a huge library of these videos, which we'll be sharing with you. This is what the certificate looks like. This is the CICTL, Certificate Cambridge International Certificate in Teaching and Learning. So this will be awarded to you from the Cambridge International CIE, Cambridge International Education. And this is that's why it's called PDQ, right? Professional Development Qualification. And of course, was awarded to Miss Arti, who was my colleague. And it also mentions the grade. So you'll be getting a module name and the grade. And then you get also something that looks like a mark sheet, or they call it the statement of result, what we call mark sheet. Okay, so it's a proper official document that comes to you from the Cambridge CIE, Cambridge International Education. Okay, now let's talk about this course. What are you going to do? How is the training? Well, obviously, you're being trained by expert teachers who are being trusted by 25,000 plus educators. We all are expert mentors and have been teaching on all the other courses. Also, the course that you will be going through for this is a very comprehensive, detailed course, and we will guide you on the qualification, teaching strategies, the assignments, everything. And we will also be inviting you for master classes by top educators. I mentioned that to you. And of course, very important, most important rather, I would say, is that in this organization, Up Educators, you get the opportunity not just to get a CICTL or CIDTL, but also the digital and AI edge. We cannot do anything without it, right? And this will help you to, master the modern classrooms. Okay. Yeah. Now let's come to the very important part that you all have been waiting for. And I'm going to be sharing a coupon code with you shortly, both for you to get the certificate webinar certificate and to avail of this offer, right? So, like I mentioned to you, the CICTL is a 4-month live instructor led training program. It is held twice a week. Okay. So once again, I'm repeating, and I'm just going to change the color of my pen in case you got very bored of yellow, is held twice a week. It's held in the evening from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. the classes, and it's for 4 months. Okay, right? So when you do the certificate course, right now I'm talking about the certificate course, apart from the classes that you attend with us, we will also be inviting you for 8 additional master classes on digital tools or innovative teaching practice, right? And we'll be sending the invite, and please do attend them. You will also be getting an additional certificate on Google Certified Educator or Advanced Tool. So you can choose this or that. It's or, not both. Okay. So what very important, you would like to know what is the fees for this. So the fees for the CICTL is 46,900, and this includes the Cambridge exam fee of 27,000. Okay. And also this includes the Google training or, not an, or. So you can pick it. When you sign up for the course, you can say, you know what, Miss, I would like to do the advanced AI course, so that we'll invite you for those classes. Okay. So this is the Cambridge certificate, which is for 4 months. 46,900 is the fee structure. Okay. And then if you enroll in for the diploma course, like I mentioned to you, it is 4 plus 8 months. That makes it 12 months, right? This is also an instructor-led course, just like that, live, twice a week. The classes are held, okay? And the training is by a Cambridge certified trainer. We have 8 additional master classes or digital tools, like I mentioned previously. You will also be getting an additional certificate on Google Certified Educator and Plus, both. So you'll be getting 3 qualifications: the Cambridge Diploma, Google Certified, and Advanced AI. And the fees for this is 99,900 plus the GST. Whatever the GST is, I think there's some changes that the government is coming up, but as of now, I understand it's 18%. Okay. So previously, just I'm going back one slide, it's 46,900 plus GST, whatever is the government band. I know there are some changes due, but I'm just sharing with you what is it now. And yeah, and this 99,900 plus the GST, it includes the Cambridge fee of 54,000, and it also includes the Google training and the advanced AI course. Okay, so you can see that this one will get you 3 certificates. The previous one got you 2 certificates. Okay, now I'm just going to share a few happy pictures of our cohorts. Our first cohort, we've also completed the second cohort. You will be the third cohort. This is one of our live sessions that was being conducted. This is also some of the screenshots of the sessions that we have, for our student learners, right? That's assessment by Miss Mary, and this is metacognition by me, Miss Nishita. We also, like I mentioned to you, that we have a lot of collaborative activities, and we create these breakout rooms. And you can see that there are, 5 students, and there's Miss Mary. This is a breakout room discussion, right? And also, apart from just the course and the course training, we also have mentor-mentee meetings, right? We conduct that, and this is one of them, which was in session, okay? And this is feedback by one of, actually not one, many of the teachers, they've just given the feedback about how they found
Of enrichment and enlightenment after getting
Let me just make sure the sounds,
this course. Every session is a learning outcome, what I can tell. I struggled a lot was just reading the things and just writing the academics.
Initially, I was not giving lot of attentions to the one who are like slow learners kind of. Now like I'll do little bit of scaffolding with them.
As a Cambridge school mentor already, there were a lot of Cambridge strategies that I knew, but the way they were explained in such an elaborate manner on how to go about it.
The session went in a completely unique way, which made us so concrete in those concepts. We had one-to-one feedback session.
True.
I'm like, rest assured, what we have written is been really checked. I know it's been pointed out what we are doing and what mistakes we are doing. It's been underlined. It's been noted. Now, if there is any question on Bloom taxonomy or if there is any query on Bloom taxonomy, I am able to solve to my team in the school. The way you teach, the way, like initially, what my thought was, if you are good in some subject, anyways, you can teach that, but it's not like that. There are some strategies.
Instead of jumping into conclusion, I've slowed down and like tried to find why what is there in me that causing all this.
So this kind of confidence is provided by your sessions. The support that you have provided is quite commendable. This reflection point came, that is self-reflection. That is where I can know myself, where I'm standing. So at the end of the class, I was able to evaluate myself. I think, that was something, a turning point of reflection.
Metacognition is how to really incorporate it.
This is what I'm doing, and I can apply this theory over here.
Everything I do, first thought that comes to me is reflection.
Sit with the session. It's something we, a key takeaway from that.
Right. So this was just some feedback about the teachers, the first cohort, about how this has
Of
been.
enrichment.
Right. So yeah, of course, we look forward to you joining us very soon for our next cohort. And once again, I'm just in the chat window. I have shared this link with you, and you will be able to avail of this particular offer, because this is a coupon code that we're sharing with you, because we are giving these also the other certificates along with that. So please enroll for this within 48 hours to get the coupon code. Also, for you to be getting the webinar, you attended a webinar on CICTL, you need to please fill up this link. Please do that. And if you wish to, book a slot for yourself in this course, you can do so by paying an advance of 10,000 to book a slot. Okay. So this cohort, our next cohort will be starting in September. So please do enroll for it. And this offer is going to be there for the next 48 hours to get the coupon code. Please do fill it up, right? So yeah, I'm just going to take a couple of more minutes of your time to just take you through what are the other popular courses. But I'm very happy to take any questions that you might have. And yeah, right? Let me just take you through it. Of course, I just took you through the CICTL and CIDTL course. We also conduct this Google Certified Educator course. Google Certified Trainer course is also conducted. The MCE, Microsoft Certified Educator, and we also conduct the online teaching course with Google certification. At Up Educators, we have a fantastic course called Innovative Teaching Practice. That's for 2 months. And we also conduct a course called Nursery Teachers Training, or ECCE, for teachers who teach younger students or kindergarten students. This is a fantastic course called Advanced AI for Educators course. STEM robotics, which has become a very important part of classrooms. Certified STEM teacher. A digital marketing course is also what we offer. This is really good for people who are running their own entrepreneurs, teacherpreneurs, coaching owners, private tutors. Coding and AI course for educators. And within this, we also have some amazing drone technology that's there, and the instructional design course, right? And for any other information, if you wish to check it out, please check out our website, www.upeducators.com. Okay. And I can just get you into that if you like. But yeah, I'm very happy to take any questions. Yeah. So I have a question from Ms. Sarika about what's the difference between this qualification and TESOL, right? She says that she is an IELTS expert. So, Ms. Sarika, what I would say is that this course is being offered by Cambridge. And specifically, what is going to be happening over here is that, other than looking at what is happening is you're looking at the best practices, you're looking at how to improve your teaching practice, your lesson plans, how to use different strategies like active learning, like getting your students to be reflective, self-directed learners, how to plan for differentiation. So I think I would really say that, maybe rather than looking at English as a second language or a support language that we'll be doing, over here, the focus is really on improving your pedagogical practice, on your, lesson delivery, on your curriculum planning, on your, focus towards learner-centric approach. That's really what it is. And of course, these are different qualifications. So this will really equip you, to sharpen your teaching and learning practices that's going to be happening. Happy to take any other questions if any of you have about the course. Any questions, any queries, I'm very happy to answer that. But thank you very much. And I really thank you all for attending this. Let me see if there are any more questions. Yeah. You can put it in the chat window. Please feel free to unmute and ask me any questions. Ms. Sarika, yes, this is a globally accepted certification. And as I mentioned, this comes from the Cambridge International Education, CIE. And this is internationally or rather globally recognized. Which course will I benefit from? So Smita, I sincerely believe that if you go through all the way to the diploma, this will really help you to sharpen and deepen your practice and to also get into a mode of where, in future, if you have to be a mentor or a program leader or a coordinator, you will be able to very, very effectively look at what is something that somebody needs to improve because you have first improved it in yourself. You have done an action research or a PhD on yourself. So I would say definitely please go all the way and do your diploma. Some schools, which are Cambridge schools, just ask their teachers to do at least a certificate, and that's your decision. But in terms of the whole trajectory of learning, we should do the diploma, and that's really the best way to go about it. I'm just a little skeptical if what I have taught in CELTA will overlap with CICTL. So as I understand, Smita, that in CELTA, I think you go very deep with the English, practice or the English language. Whereas this course, I would say, is definitely English, but it's got more to do with the widening or rather deepening of your professional practice, of your reflective behavior, of your reflection, of your student-centric approaches, of looking at impact. So there will definitely be some overlap, no doubt, but I can tell you for sure that this is more of you sharpening a practice, looking at best research, applying it, seeing what works, getting very learner-centric, student-centric, and using strategies for that. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Smita. I'm glad that you found that useful. And it's great that you have taught in CELTA. That's a fabulous qualification. So yeah, compliments to you on that one. Yeah. So we have questions. How many installments should there be? So once you, speak to our counselor, and once you click on the link, I'm once again putting the link in here. Please click on it. They will be in touch with you. I do believe that there is different installment systems, and I guess the rate of interest would differ. So might be best if you speak to them. But Dipti, if you could just privately send me a message with your mobile number, I can have them reaching out to you. Okay. Ma'am, Sam says, ma'am, fees will be paid lump sum. If you wish, you can pay lump sum, but we do have different options even for installment. If you want to pay 3 or 4 or 2, you can then, speak to the counselor. And once again, if you send me your number, I can have somebody calling you ASAP. Yeah, thank you, Smita. Right, everybody, and thank you all for joining us and thank you for being a part of the webinar. I would be really looking forward for all of you to join this course and be part of the Cambridge family and the Cambridge learning. And I wish you all the best and wish you a very happy weekend. And for those of you spending, celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi, wishing you all a very great and a very prosperous Ganesh Chaturthi. Can you please share the counselor's number? Yeah. Sure, definitely, Sam. I could just do that. So I'm just sharing the number with you, right? Just give me a moment. Yeah. So I'm sharing Miss Malvika's number with you. If any of you wish to contact her, this is her number. I think we can give it to everybody. Everybody can have that number. Yeah. Yeah. Miss Malvika's number, I'm just sharing that. It's 9923460060, right? So this is Miss Malvika. She is our counselor, and any of you can get in touch with her. She'll be very happy to engage with you and clarify anything. Right? And once again, I've shared it with Deepti also. I'm sharing that with you, Miss Malvika. Miss Malvika Bhandari, she is our counselor. Please do reach out to her. Yeah, I hope you got it, Mr. Sam. I hope you got the number, and I've shared that also with Deepti. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sarika. Thank you, everybody, and wish you all a great evening. And yeah, have a wonderful